Alright, so welcome back. We are picking up from where we left off in our previous tutorial. If I play this, we do have a window over here, but there is still a lot to do, and let me play it again. So if I play it again, you can see. And so today we're going to customize this title. We're also going to implement a continuous loop where our game is going to play until we decide to quit the game. And so play this. The default title says Pygame window. We want to change that, and so that's what I'm going to do first. So to do that, we use Pygame.display, use a function called set_caption, like that. And then this takes in a string as an argument, and so quotation marks, or this can be double or single quotation marks. We're going to call this Tetris game. That's the name of our game. And so if I'm to run this, you can see now the title has changed. You can also change this icon, but we're not going to be doing that today. And so I'm going to get rid of this number 7, and I'm also going to get rid of this time module up here. So we now have 2 modules only. And so the idea of having a game running continuously is going to hinge on the concept of game loop. Okay, so the game loop is a way for us to keep our game running until we decide to quit the game. And so we're going to use a construct in Python called the while loop. So we're going to say while true. So this is an infinite loop. So it's going to run continuously until we decide let's stop it. Okay, so for now I'm going to put in pass. This is a placeholder. If we don't have anything to put here, we can just put in pass so that we don't have errors in our code. And so I'm going to save this and run this. You can see we have a window over here. If we try and close this, this is the quit button, the close button. It's not responding. This is not the behavior that we want. So for now, we're going to make this active, the terminal in here, and then press Control C. Control C on a Windows computer, Command C on a Mac. Okay, so we have our game loop. The window is running continuously here. Thumbs up, very good. But we cannot close our game. And so the act of closing our game, what is it? You know, if we run this again, this act of clicking here, or hovering our mouse in here, or pressing a certain key, we call all these events in game development. And so we need a way to be able to handle events. So let me click in here again, Control C or Command C on a Mac. So we need a way to be handling these events. So inside this while loop, this is where we're going to handle events. And so the first thing you need to do in your game loop, in this loop, is to handle events. And so I'm going to say handle events. And so how do we handle events? We have to look for those events. We have to check the events, and then we decide what to do with the events. So in Pygame, we have a module that captures events. So Pygame.event, okay, .get. So we have a module called event, and inside there we have a method called get. So this method will get us all the events that are happening on our game screen. And so here, if I hover over, you can see what we get back. So this arrow simply means it's going to return a list of events. And so if this gives back a list, so we can use a for loop to loop over. So we can say for event in Pygame.event. And so here we're going to put this colon here. And so you can see this, you can name it whatever, but it makes a whole lot of sense since we are trying to get back events. It makes sense to call it event, but you can name it whatever. That's a variable. And so for now we want to print event. I want to show you the names of all these events that we can interact with. And so if I save this and run this, you can see our window shows up. Already down here we have some events here. Window leave event, which has got a number. So this is the name of the event, and this is the value is given. It's given an integer value 32784. Let's see if I hover in and come back. There is a mouse motion event given a number 1024. If I try and close now, we want to see what's the name of that event. This one, click here. This event is called a quit event. It's given a value of 256. Again, click that. It's a quit event. Oh, so these events already have names in Pygame. Oh, so it's easy to handle these. And so let me close this window. So Control C, I'm going to interrupt that. And so we need a way to handle this. And so the way we handle this is we use an if statement. So we're going to say if event. Each event has got an attribute called type attribute. And so we can check for the type of an event. So we say if event.type. So the event, we're getting it from here. If we had named this any other name, this would be any other name here. Dot type. So each event has got a type attribute. So we can check and say if event.type is equal to any one of these events. So it can be a quit event if it's an active event, if it's a key down or key up event. But for now, we are focusing on the quit event. And so we are going to say, for us to access this constant, this is a variable in Pygame, we use the Pygame name like this, and then we use the dot syntax. And so you can see active event is here. If I go back, you can see active event. And so that means somewhere along this list there is a quit event. If I keep on going down, I'll find the quit event. Yeah, it's here in all uppercase. Okay, so you can see it's in all uppercase here. So that's the event that we're looking for. So if event.type, whatever events we are getting back, if any one of those events is a quit event, then we want to do something. So what do we want to do? We want our system here. So this is where we're going to use our sys module. So we're going to say sys. Inside sys, we have an exit method. And so we want to exit the game. So if I save this with our fingers crossed, if I run this, if I click here, this is the quit button, right? If I click that, look at what happens. Boom, the window goes. Boom, and so now we are in full control of our window. Now we can start our game. We can quit our game anytime. We can start our game. We can quit our game anytime. And so now we can implement other functionalities that we want for our game. But the first thing we have to do is we have to sort out how we're going to quit the game. If you get into any building, right, you need to find the exit of that building or the exit to that building. Otherwise, you will be trapped in that building. So you don't want that to happen. So that's why we need to check for this event first. And so the first thing you need to do in any game loop is to check for events. And then you decide what to do with those events, and we call that event handling. I hope it's making a whole lot of sense. But for beginners, this might be tricky. You might not understand the whole concept because you might not know what is really happening. I'm available to help. If you do have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. I hope to see you in our next tutorial. For now, I'm out. Bye bye.